Okay, so the owner of number one here sent his reel back. He's gonna go hit the river this week. I thought, what a great opportunity to do a little maintenance video. This is gonna be exactly like your reel, with the exception of this is the original clicker location, which we moved from the 3 o'clock to the 6 o'clock position. Also, because of that, your logo will actually be facing this way instead of how this one this way. But besides that, everything else is functionally the same. The way you take it apart is absolutely the same as well. So to get this reel apart, the minimum you need is a 2mm hex driver. Now, I use what's called a MIP. MIP is the brand hex driver. These are amazing. They don't round out. They don't round the screw out. They're worth it. They're very expensive, I must admit. But if you want a hex driver you'll have for the rest of your life, the MIP wrench is it. So what we're going to do, you take your 2mm hex wrench, and on the dust cover you notice there's 4 screws. Now 2 of these screws hold it together, the other 2 are fake. They're just cosmetic. What you want to do is the opposite screws of your handle, which would be this one and this one, you're going to want to loosen those up. And what this is going to do is take the dust cap off. So you loosen that one off, and then you take that one out. And then you lift off the dust cap, and it exposes the center pin screw and the 4 screws that hold the spool to the hub. Now, when I designed this reel, what I want to do is every part on this thing is separate. So if you damaged it or want to replace it, or if I come out with different designs for the spool, it's pretty easy to take your old spool off, put a new one on by taking those 4 screws off. The foot, the back plate, everything can be exchanged, replaced, however to do it. So you have 2 options here. If you only have a 2mm hex wrench, you can then remove the center pin screw, and that will allow the spool to come apart just like any other center pin. So we're going to go ahead, loosen that. Now I do use some blue Loctite when you get your spool, but a little bit. It's not super difficult to get off, but you can still get it off. So there's the screw, and inside here there is a O-ring. Now this O-ring is very important, and I send a couple extra along with your reel. And what this is actually a certain measurement O-ring, and all the ones you have is going to match. And what this does, this gives the bearings the proper preload to make sure the bearings run as smooth as possible and get the longest life you can get out of them. So once you remove that spool, just like every other center pin, you can then take it apart. And now you can access the clicker wheel, the bearings if you want to take the bearings out and maintenance them. I'm not going to get into that in this video because there's a bunch on the YouTube channels where you can see how that's done. You can disassemble them, soak them. I honestly, once they got to get pretty bad for me to attempt to take these apart. You know, these bearings are like $60, and I just let them go. And as long as you somewhat maintenance your spool and your reel, it's normally not a problem. So once you take the spool off, you actually access to the back plate, and here you can actually do your cleaning. If you own a center pin, this is nothing new. Get all the junk out, all the egg juice and everything like that out of it. I use Sparkle window cleaner. I like this because it doesn't have ammonia in it, and window cleaner is actually the best for your titanium inlays. If you happen to have titanium inlays that have color on it, window cleaner, for whatever reason, is the best to get it back to its natural look. So after you wipe it down, you can see it actually will change a different color at first, but as it dries, it'll get back to its natural brightness. From here, I also offer a syringe that comes with your reel. Inside here is Lucas marine oil, or grease, I'm sorry, marine grease. I like Lucas products. I use them for about everything that uses oil or grease. And you can start using this to grease a few areas of your reel. The clicker wheel, you know, you can actually take a rag if you have some grit or debris on there, and you can go in there. I also like to use a Q-tip to get down into the grooves, if you have a lot of sand, to get it clean. And then coming back, all I like to do is put a couple drops, a little bit, like every other notch. It really doesn't take a lot. This is heat treated, about 62 Rockwell, so you're not going to necessarily wear it out. And it also has a coating on it, so it should last a very long time. But the grease helps it run a little smoother and have less drag on your clicker wheel. Another area is the cam mechanism that engages the clicker ball. I like to put a little bit of grease down by the cam itself. This is actually a ball bearing, so it doesn't really need too much lube, as it just kind of glides along the back, but you can put a little drop there. I also like to run a line on the side of here of grease, and it almost acts like if you were caulking a window seal, and it keeps some of the debris and grit from going inside there. So if you have a center pin, this is nothing new for you. You disassemble it, take it apart, and clean it. If you have to get into this mechanism, get a hold of me, and I can maybe do a video later or next what's inside here. It's a little more complex than your average reel, and yeah, I'll do another video to show you what's in there. So once your cleaning's done, you can also one thing that happens quite often is your handles will get some grit and grime in there, and this is pretty easy as well. Again, the 2mm wrench, take your titanium screw out. You can access that, then you can clean it up, clean it off how you like. There's actually a machine notch in the bottom here. You can actually take your syringe and put some grease down in there. It's a little trough to keep that trapped, to keep junk from getting in there. And put your handles back on. Again, you can Loctite these if you wish. They do get shipped with blue Loctite. I actually use blue Loctite 248. I prefer this over the liquid just because it's a little easier to use. And then go ahead and tighten those back up. And then from there you can actually reassemble your reel. Put the spool back on, disengage that. Put your spool back on. Orientate your dust cap. Get your other screw going in there. And then these don't have to be super tight or Loctite. It's just a dust cap. Just kind of run down there and just kind of snug them up. And if you have some color titanium, again, the sparkle or the window cleaner is great to use. Yeah, and there you go. You have pretty much a maintenance reel. Obviously, like most other reels, there's some more in-depth things you can do, especially with the button area if this gets real gritty. Yeah, I'll put another video up talking about this button, how to take it apart, and maintenance that as well. So any questions, hit me up. Email me, message, however you'd like to. And thank you for watching.